Hey everyone, this is Elias from RefMatch Media, and today we're going to be taking a look at the 2025 Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. Now, there's something about TRD Pro that says, okay, Elias, it's time to get this thing dirty. And with a name like Mudbath for the color, yeah, I just had to. So let's go ahead and get started. We get started in the front and this thing looks incredible. Now, yes, we talked about the Mudbath color for the 2025. This is the TRD Pro color. It looks dirty already. It just looks like it looks like a pig that wants to get in mud or got in mud. And I kind of like that. I love that color that we get. Now, as far as the headlights, we do have the LED lighting system, which looks incredible. I love the design that we get. We have this kind of boomerang or Y shape there for the turn signal. And then in the front on the grille, we have nice big Toyota badging there. We do get the little lights there, the Raptor lights, like people like to call them. They look great. We do get the LED light bar. Now, this happens when you have the high beams turned on. So you do have to have the high beams turned on and the LED light bar will turn on. And then at the bottom here, we do have the LED fog lights. So that is when you have the low beams turned on. Now, honestly, I'm sure there's someone out there that can make them all just turn on, because sometimes I encounter some roads that we just need to get as much light output as possible. But anyways, though, they do look great, great light output as well. We do get the front facing camera, which is part of the 360-degree camera system for this, which has been spectacular, especially if you take this off-roading. I got to really test it out when I took the Tundra out, and with this being a big vehicle, you do need those cameras to help you out, especially if you're kind of a one person you know, off-roader, or you don't have a spotter. Let the cameras do the work and help you out with that. But love this front end. We have the bottom part here. We don't have that arrow kind of lip that we get with the other trims for aerodynamics and better fuel efficiency. So that gets taken off for the fact that we have a better approach angle, because obviously we're going to go off-roading in this, and then, or hopefully we are, and we do have some underbody protection in there underneath as well. So we have that nice TRD skid plate. But this thing looks awesome. Love the way that this looks. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have under this hood. We get under the hood and we have the 3.4 liter iForce Max twin turbo V6 hybrid, and it is cranking out 437 horsepower and 583 pound-feet of torque. It is connected to the 10-speed auto and then to the Toyota 4-wheel drive system. Now, a couple of things with this. First, to start with the hood, I didn't realize that this thing doesn't really open much. It's kind of a small opening. So if you're going to be doing your oil changes, working on it, you know, your own maintenance, just be aware this guy doesn't open that much, which can be kind of troublesome if you're needing to reach things in the back, which that's the other thing, is this is really pushed back, which is good. I like that. I like the fact that we have such a big opening here. We do get, obviously, the radiator a little bit pushed back, which is always good, especially if you have a fender bender kind of situation. It's not going to immediately puncture the radiator, or if you're going off-roading and, yeah, it's sitting further back than you would another vehicle that may be significantly forward. You hit it, and then there goes your day kind of thing. So I like that, but just kind of, again, be aware this is really pushed back, and this doesn't really open much. Other than that, though, as far as the V6, yes, we don't get the V8. Yes, I'm gonna hear it. Oh, V8 is better. I like this. I like this. The power is always there. We have the hybrid system, which is delivering down low. We have the turbo that is delivering power up high. There is no feeling of one, you know, turning off and then the other turning on. They have such a smooth crossover at you know, that you wouldn't notice it, and that just gives you the feel of a supercharged vehicle, because the power is always on and it's so linear and it's really, really good. I love it. This V6 has been incredible. We do have the TRD intakes on here, which are nice. I love that we have the dual intakes as well. So loving that. The 10-speed has been great. Minus, yeah, and because there's so many of them, if you're kind of cruising and you're up high in the gear selection, when you floor it, you're gonna feel kind of two-stage shift down to a lower gear that you can probably be in. So be aware of that. Not a big deal though, because the power is gonna come on so well that it's not a big deal. So don't worry about that. And then obviously the power, getting it down to that rear, getting it down to the front when we are in 4 high or 4 low has been incredible. I mean, oh yeah, and you get the rear locking diff as well with this. It's awesome. I love this thing. It's just, yeah, really honestly, no complaints about it. This is definitely, after driving multiple variations of this in different Toyota vehicles, I can say that this is a better system than the previous V8 was. Yeah, I am calling it, and I know I already have comments being written in my video, but let me tell you, drive it and then you'll see what I mean. So let's go ahead and take a look at those wheels and tires. We get down to the wheel and tire package, and we have this awesome 18-inch TRD Pro wheel, and it is wrapped in the 285/65 Falcon Wild Peak all-terrain tire. Now, a couple of things with this. Yes, this is a black wheel. Yes, it's dirty. We got it dusty. We had some fun on some back unpaved roads, which you'll get to see, but love the wheel that we get. TRD Pro wheels are just so nice, and they're just so sought after as well because of that. They're so nice. So a lot of times you don't see these vehicles going aftermarket with the wheel design. So yeah, I would keep this personally. I think they look great. Now the tires are unbelievable. I love these Falcon Wild Peaks, and they have been incredible on the road. They have been incredible on that unpaved road, which has a bunch of little rocks, and it's almost like if you are almost always hydroplaning with that type of little rock that you get over the actual harder road that I drive. So if this thing wasn't gliding, that means you're doing a good job. Other vehicles with better tires really just glide over that, and it feels unstable. This thing did a great job, and I didn't air down. I left it at factory specs, and I love it. I love this tire setup that we get. And then the suspension, we do have the TRD Pro suspension with the Fox shock system. Unbelievable. I was purposely aiming for potholes, and this thing just absorbed it. It is a big vehicle as well. So it just, yeah, I was surprised at how good that suspension is, especially on those more speed runs that I was doing as well. Now, with that being said, the brakes, I feel like they need a little bit more bite power because this is a over 6,000 pound vehicle, and yeah, it feels that way when you are needing to brake. It does kind of feel that way if you're taking a turn a little bit faster, so just kind of be aware of that. But other than really getting a little bit more braking power, I would say this setup has been unbelievable. I love it, and yeah, there's nothing else I really have to say other than it's just that damn good. So let's go ahead and see what we have on the side. We get to the side and we can see this thing is big. It is a massive SUV, and yeah, that mud color looks great. And again, like I said, I had to get this a little bit dirty, and I think it looks good. So if you're a little bit on the lazier side, don't worry. We'll appreciate and enjoy the fact that you're taking your TRD Pro vehicle off-roading or just getting it dirty. But yeah, we love the fact that we have such a big SUV with this. So to kind of get started in the front, we have that big hood. We get the TRD Pro badging on the top there. And then we take a look at those 18-inch wheels, and I think they look great. I love the design that we have with them. And yeah, we have a good size. We have a nice meaty tire to them. And the other thing is, just be aware, as you can see, the ride height on this isn't truly as tall as maybe the other TRD Pro vehicles. So just be aware, this is a little bit more civilized as far as off-roading, because yeah, you may have some breakover issues in the middle because of the lower ride height that we get with this. But we take a look at the front as well, and we have the kind of the digital camo that we get with the big boy TRD Pros. So we're talking about this, we're talking about the Tundra as well. They get kind of the camo, digital camo, and it kind of looks like flat black on the arches, while the smaller ones like the Tacoma and the 4Runner get the more smoothed out when it comes to the fenders cover there. Then at the bottom we have the side steps, which double as some protection as well. My kid has been appreciating this because we did have the Tundra TRD Pro, and that has just protection on it, so it's not the best of steps, and he was kind of complaining about it because it also sits a little bit higher than it does with the Sequoia. But yeah, loving these steps, easy to get into as well. But we have the big doors there. We have black framing around the windows. At the top, we have a basket, which you're definitely going to need if you decide to pack this up with human beings, because yeah, we'll see there's very little storage space in the back once that happens. So definitely nice to have that basket up there. And yeah, I love this line that we get there. It's kind of like carved out. Again, we get that digital camo on the fender covers in the back, but I think it looks great. Oh yeah, and the mirrors, which we'll talk about in a little bit after I activate them, because I have my key fob in my pocket and I go to reach, they open up. I can go ahead and open and I'm good. I can go ahead and close and lock. Now I can't open up, so I don't have the sensor in the back, so you are going to have to do this, and you can now open the back. You can also program it to just be the driver's side. For myself, I like to have all of them for kiddos, and actually the entry is really easy as well for pets, small kids, and you know, if someone struggles to hop in, like short people like myself. So yeah, so I have that. Now the mirrors, I want to talk about the mirrors. They're great for, so there's the towing mirrors. They're great because they really let you see far out. And right now we actually don't even have them deployed out completely, but just on its own, they're great. But careful if you go off-roading, because I did this with the Tundra and it was such a massive footprint, so to speak, that we get with width because of these mirrors. So narrow places, I was constantly having to close them, but I really needed them because they're so great at being able to point down with the bottom part to see the tire and see, you know, are you gonna hit anything? Are you cleared? That kind of stuff. So yeah, besides having the cameras, obviously, but yeah, love them. If you're going to be towing, they're really a necessity to have, to be able to see what you kind of have beyond your rear. If you're not, yeah, probably opt out, and you're going to be taking this off-road, opt out for the standard mirrors. But yeah, that's what we have on the side. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have in the back. We take a look at the back, and this is really nice. There's a lot of great things to this as well. So at the top, we have that little spoiler there. Would I have liked it in black? I don't know, maybe a different color would have been nice to kind of break up a little bit more of this rear coloring here. So we get that. Now here, yeah, you see my markings there with my hand cleaning it, and that is because we do have the rear view mirror camera on this. It is really, really nice. I love that system. It has been on the whole time. Yeah, I had to clean it a little bit to just kind of see a little bit better with that. Now, as far as this rear glass though, the reason why I knew it was there is because well, we have the wiper, great visibility whether you use it or not with the rear view mirror camera. But if you press there, you pull this up and you have that opening, which I love. And I was actually using this the other day when I was grabbing groceries because let's just say after I went for a grocery run, I had a little bit of a spirited drive, and I'm sure things would have fallen out if I would have opened up the full tailgate. So it was good to be able to just grab the items there and good to go. So we can go ahead and close that off. Yeah. we get the Toyota badge, which is black. Yes, it's a black Toyota badge on there, and the button to open up the rear glasses right in there. We also do get the rear view camera, which does have a little cleaner there, which, yeah, if you decide to get it dirty like I did, you'll have no problems. Then you get the taillights, which are incredible. I love that we get the transparent outer plastic with the frosted kind of textured taillight assembly on the inside. So love the fact that we get that. It looks really, really good. Good design. We do get the big Sequoia badging in black there. TRD Performance little badge there. And then my favorite, the exhaust tips. They are black and they are somehow still black as well. So whoever designed that aerodynamics or the right there for it, good job on you, Toyota engineer, because you kept the tips black while we have everything else dirty. And then we have our towing hookup here, which is a beast for towing with this rig. So loving this rear. So let's go ahead and see what we have inside. We open up the back. We can either do it by pressing the button down here or by kicking down there. I'm not having a lot of luck. It literally says just to do it quickly. Let's see if, because I'm recording, it'll of course open now. Yeah. And just like you see there, it does say you have to do it quickly. Yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to do it for the past 15 minutes and I haven't gotten it. And of course, when I hit record, it is going to start doing it. So it works, and we have this. So there is a lot going on in here. First of all, we do get the basket, or this one does come with the netting on here that we can attach really easily there. We'll go ahead and detach it so I can show you guys the other components that we get in here. So we have that netting. Then down here we have a little bit of storage, which I really like this. Yeah, they're little dividers that you could put, and yeah, depending on how much you need for each little kind of capacity. Best thing for this, shoes. Dirty shoes, especially if you've been out mudding, or just sports shoes, you know, dirty cleats. This is perfect for every kid to have their own spot there. So love the fact that we get that. Then up here we do get this kind of little platform that we can use there, or we can even put on the lower step. The reason why we can put it on the lower step is because we do have the third row down right now, and if we have it on the top, it's gonna go fairly, the only thing is, yes, you're gonna get this. So just be aware that if you put small things in here, they may kind of roll in and then roll down towards there. But if it's something flat, yeah, you'll be fine with that there. And obviously we have the back seats down, which we can bring up by pressing this button here. So we will go ahead and pick that up, which you can see is happening there. And there you go. So again, if you have this packed with people in it, you're gonna be running short on storage space. So just kind of be aware of that. But when we have that open, you have obviously all the 3 rows available. If you don't though, you can just go ahead and bring this down, and you can even go ahead, pull this and move it forward. Yeah, so you have that option to give yourself even more additional kind of a little bit of storage there on there if you're wanting to just kind of lower that to the bottom step, which probably should have been a better option, I think, for myself to be able to put my camera gear in there. So yeah, I think this fits better for my needs. So now you can see we have a little bit more there. You still kind of have some space for shoes, so you'll be able to just kind of cram them in there. But love this better system that we have with that. Again, it's not going to have the tons of storage that you would normally get in other vehicles. We do get a adapter there, a power connection, and we're looking at 400 or the 100 with the 120 volt there. Oh yeah, and the other thing we get are the speakers. So while I was setting up my camera back here on the tripod, I had music and they were coming out of those speakers, which is nice because those speakers are good. But yeah, that's kind of what we get in the back. We take a look at the door, and even though it looks very simple, there is a lot of great things about this. So let's get started on the top, and this is where I've been resting my arm. There's a lot of space here, so it's been nice to kind of sit and have this at that height. And we do have kind of a softer material there. We do get the red stitching for the TRD Pro, which looks awesome, and that continues down here with this stitching here. We do have kind of a plain looking you know, just kind of door handle, so nothing big. It's gonna be a little bit more on the rugged side of things. And then we have our controls for our doors. Obviously we have our windows, and we have our mirror controls there as well, which have just been really nice to have with this bigger vehicle. Then we have our 2 safe seats. Yeah, 2 are fine, but I think with a family vehicle like this, I think 3 would have probably been a nice touch to have there. We have a little bit of storage right in there, maybe for the key, even though we can actually fit things up here in the armrest area, which is nice as well, nice and plush. And then we come down here where we have a little bit of storage. We do have water bottle, and then a little bit of storage down there. Then we get the speaker system here, which has been really nice to just kind of blast and just enjoy some tunes on there. We take a look at the seats, and these things are incredible. I love the finish that we get with them. We have that digital camo kind of going on with some red stitching happening, and then we get the adjustability, which has been super easy to just find a sweet spot with this. But they're comfortable, they're big boy friendly. You know, we have the like I said, awesome camo design, digital camo. We have the stitching, we have the piping as well. We have the embroidered TRD Pro to let people know, yeah, you paid for some really nice off-road goodies on there. We do have the heated and the venting option on these as well. Only thing is missing is massage. Yeah, I know, I'm asking for a lot. Hey, shoot for the sky and yeah, settle for maybe something, I don't know. But yeah, I love these things. They are super nice to have, especially on like really long road trips. No complaints about them. Love them. Because you're going to be taking this off-road, these mats are going to come in really nice and handy. They're really cool design. We can see kind of, you know, the terrain, and then just the Wild Peak tires just kind of going through. So love the fact that we have that, and we have obviously the TRD Pro sign here, but love the fact that we have these, especially if you're, you know, getting in muddy situations. These are going to help with capturing that and not getting your carpet dirty. We take a look at the control panel that's to the left of the steering wheel, and we have some really nice things. So on the top left there, we have the option for the light that we have in the rear, so we can turn that on, off, or have it turn on with the door. Then we have the auto headlights on there. We have the gas cap. We have the brightness to the gauge cluster. We have your odometer trip. We have your parking sensor beeping. And then at the bottom, we have the TRD light bar that we have on the middle of the grille. So with that one, again, you're not seeing it on as an option because I need to have the lights on, and I have to have it in high beam. So there my lights are technically on, but it's not till I do that where I put it in high beam that light bar turns on. Yeah, I wish that can be programmed differently. Let me know if it can in the comments, but from my understanding it can't. Anyways though, we have that. Then we have the heated steering wheel. We have the 120 volt power there, and then we have a light in the mirror, so we can actually turn on a light in the mirror, which is nice to have just additional lighting, especially if you're taking this camping or anything like that. And then we have the mirror button to extend. Now I'll go ahead and push it, and I'll turn on the light as well so you guys can see it. But what I am a little bit kind of I wish it were better is the fact that we have only the kind of on and off of the kick out for the mirror. So I can't be like right there, I can't stop it. So it has to be essentially all the way out or all the way in. And then you can see right there, that is where we have the little light, which I will go ahead and turn off so you guys can see on and off. But yeah, I just wish we had the option for the mirror to extend out completely. But yeah, you could see this thing has been super useful. You can even see the camera, just how much of a difference it is from having one or the other. And that's kind of where I have mine there. Now the bottom part is manually adjustable, so you do have to manually adjust that, and then the top one obviously you would have to go ahead and adjust with the controls. But yeah, love these things. Just wish we had the option of getting it just a little bit incrementally, and just be aware if you're going to be taking this off-road that they get really wide even at the closed or the close setting on here. We take a look at the steering wheel, and this thing is nice. I like it. And we do get the dimpled material throughout the entire wheel. We do get the nice little racing little red line there in the middle, which I am a big fan of. And at the bottom, we are going to get the TRD signal there, or the logo, which I like. As you can see, I'm a sucker for red, so loving that. Now I wish we had red stitching though. That would have been perfect for the inside of the wheel, and also for the outer part of the airbag or the horn there. So yeah, I wish we had that. But we get to the controls. On the left hand side, we're going to have our options for our gauge cluster and our volume up and down there. And then on the right hand side, we are going to have our cruise control settings with our next track button right there for the infotainment screen. But yeah, very simple, very straight to the point. Feels good, nice and big, like I said, with this steering wheel. We get over to the gauge cluster, and we have an all digital display with 3 different sections that we get there. Now in the left hand side, we're going to be able to kind of go through different menu options like we have here with the trailer braking option, and then we have kind of more settings of what you want it to be for your safety. So yeah, just very simple, very straight to the point. Your eco, you know, that kind of things there. Compass, your infotainment system, and yeah, obviously we have for our trip, and then obviously our tire pressures on there. So yeah, very simple. Like I said, nothing too wow with this. And then in the middle, we do get the gauge cluster that has the tachometer, and then we have our speeds there as well. And then on the right hand side, we have our options for the power, where we see the iForce turbo pressure there, as well as the hybrid options. Now when we go to the left side, we are able to kind of change customize the right side there, which yeah, it's kind of so we are able to change it to things like pitch and roll. We can have our toll gauges, so we'll do the pitch and roll. You have that there. Kind of sucks that you have to kind of keep going back to it to kind of do that to change it, but yeah, we have that with no problem. Oh, and then when we change our drive modes, we just turn the dial, and we have the eco, normal, and then the sport option there. And yeah, you're gonna see the kind of settings that it changes. And then we have the indicator in the middle that will say that it is sport at the top. Very simple though, very straight to the point. Do I want more? I don't know. It does a good job. It's like I said, a little bit on the simple side, but I think it does the job. We get over to the infotainment screen, and the screen is big. So we do have a nice big display. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay, which has been great. My favorite though, we do get the side menus on here, so you don't have to have it if you don't want to, and you can just maintain it as a full screen for Apple CarPlay. I don't like that. I like to have this because if I need to get to a menu quickly, I don't have to kind of do multiple buttons. I am already available for that. So small little thing, but I love the way that this works. And yeah, like I said, nice system. Been able, with the JBL system, we're able to play some nice tunes, and sounds great. And then we come down here a little bit and we have our controls for our climate, and this thing has been easy. Literally set it and forget it. If you kind of want to mess with things, it's very easy to get to and finesse your climate system to however you want it to be. We have our cooling option for our seats. We have our heated option. It's really hot right now, so I'm definitely in the cooling side of things, but I love the setup to this. And yeah, small things like this to keep things compact. One button to go ahead and change the temperature up and down. We come down here and we have our options for our trailer brake. We do have our camera system, traction control, our hazards, our rear diff lock, and then some blank buttons here, which would be nice to kind of customize, if you know what I mean. But yeah, let's take a look at the camera. It's one of my favorites. So yeah, we do get that thing. I hate it. I hate it when we have to kind of put it in drive for the Toyota things. But yeah, we have the camera system. We just activate it and we have a ton of options. So right now we're looking forward and we have the top view. We can go to the back view there. We can go to the front tires view. So when you're taking this guy off-road, you want to make sure that you are able to grab the rock nicely. And we can also take a look at the back. We have an auxiliary camera as well. So this does have the additional camera on it for the trailer. So it's a wireless trailer camera, which is a nice little option to have, because that way you don't have to run you know, wiring from the inside all the way to the back. So it does have a wireless camera for there, which is nice. And then we obviously have the top view, which we can turn off if we want to just kind of have that. And then our guides as well, if we want to turn those guys off or have them on, which have been a lifesaver because the turning radius on this is not the best. And I want to make sure that, you know, that little yellow line, it's not hopping the curb when I go to make that right turn. So love the fact that we have that. And then we have the auto button, which is going to be if you go under 10 miles an hour, I believe, you are going to be able to go ahead and see this display automatically. Now, I mentioned the off-road thing, but there is a true off-road setting here, which is awesome because now you have those tires always available for you, as well as the rear tires down here. And we also have the path of those tires right up there with the guides. And then obviously we can change you know, the views that you may want to have on there. Obviously we're not you haven't moved, so there we go. It's going to go ahead and show the camera system once you are going through that little area to give you those kind of 360-degree system below. But yeah, love this camera system. Very powerful, very easy to use though. We come a little bit lower and we have our parking brake and we have our brake hold, which thankfully this has brake hold because I love it, especially in stop and go traffic. That is nice to have as an option. And then we come over here and we have our wireless charger. So let's see if we can do the chuck test. I was a little more gentle today with the chuck test, but will it go ahead and, yeah, it is charging. So yeah, we have some charge. It took a little bit, but it's definitely going to charge. I've been able to get this thing charged from a dead, you know, 15% or so up to about 100. And yeah, no complaints about it. Love the way that it fits there. Just kind of be aware that if you kind of accelerate a little too fast, actually no, it's not too bad. I don't, not with this one. So you won't accelerate fast enough for this to come out, but just be aware that it isn't secured. So it is just kind of laying down on its own weight. We have a little bit of storage here for a second one that you don't want to maybe be charging. We come back here and we have our cup holders, which, yeah, with it being so hot today, I'm needing to make sure we have 2 packs of water there. But yeah, love it. No complaints about it. They do kind of sit there and they are pressured by these little spring loaded things there. If you don't want to have your cup holders, you can always just go ahead and close that off with a nice little texture on there for that. Then we get over to the shifter, and the shifter is nice. We get the red, we get the TRD badging as well, and we get the stitching that just, your fingers just kind of fit so well in this. And yeah, we have the drive mode, we have the sport mode, and we have the option for shifting the gears up and down. So yeah, love the fact that we get all those options with that shifter. We come a little bit lower and we have our drivetrain selections. So we have our 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. So we do have the option to just push it down. So we actually push down and then slide it. So right now we are in 4 high, and then obviously if we want to go in 4 low, we do that. It's beeping, telling us put it in neutral. We put it in neutral. It is going to go ahead and catch it. Yeah, it already went ahead and caught it in 4 low. And now notice that I don't have my drive modes anymore. So this is going to be our selection for different things. So when you are in 4 low, you're not going to get the option for drive modes because multi-terrain select takes over. And now when you turn that knob, we're going to get options like auto, sand, mud, and rock. So yeah, that's what you get when you are in 4 low. I'm gonna go ahead and switch it to 4 high so you guys can see the different options you get when you are in 4 high. I'll go ahead and turn the knob, and that switches us to deep snow, mud, sand, dirt, and auto. I'll be using the dirt later on when we get on unpaved roads that basically look like what you see in the image. And the power distribution is really nice, so I love the fact that we get that. Now if we go to high though, when we go to the 2 high and it switches, let's get it moving a little bit so it can disengage, our drive mode options become available. And that's when I said you have the eco option, and we have the sport and the normal. So yeah, that's what we get with that knob. I hated it at first, but now I'm getting used to it. I really am. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. And then obviously we have our tow haul mode there as well, because this thing is a towing beast. And then we have our crawl control, which won't be available until you are in 4 high and 4 low. So yeah, that's kind of what we get with this. And like I said, I hated it at first, just kind of how the layout was, but once you kind of get used to it, you can easily navigate to the drive mode that you're wanting to put this in. We come a little bit back and we do have our little tray area here, which you could kind of do this. Yeah, and then we do have some storage right in there, which we can access fully when we open this up. So we do have a good amount of space in here. We do have our connections for USB-C and USB-A, some coins if you still need to store coins. But yeah, that's kind of what we get with that. And if you don't want to have that there and use the tray, you have that option. And then here we have for God knows what, maybe business cards, because that's probably all you're going to be able to fit in this little storage. But the armrest is nice and comfortable. It's big. I have my section. My passenger has their own section, which is nice to have, because that way you don't bother them or do the you know, the chicken wing battle. But that's what we get. And let's take a look at what we get in the back. We get to the back door, and there's a lot of great things about this too. So we do get the what I call peasant blockers here, which are easy, really easy to kind of hang on there, because the hook is in the front and not kind of some weird thing in the back. So kiddo has been loving that, because yeah, it's been hot this week, so able to block out the sun with that. Then we get the same materials we have in the front for the kind of top armrest area there. We get the red stitching, which looks good. Window control, a little bit of storage here, and then we get the storage down here for the water bottles and maybe something else there. The JBL speaker here with the small tweeter there, and yeah, that's kind of what we get with the door. Now the seats in the back are going to be really nice touch. They have a great finish to them. We don't have the option for venting or heating, but they'll be comfortable here with these bigger seats. They do have their vent is right above them with a nice little light option available there, but they are definitely big. We get the armrest because we have the captain's chairs. We get that little guy there, which my kiddo has been loving because you can kind of fit, get your spot that you like at the height. So he's been kind of playing with that all week. And we do have the anchors for the child seat for his. Very easy to put his booster seat. No complaints about it there. We do get the floor mats that are rugged and they go over the transmission hump or the drive shaft hump on there. So loving that. We also get it for the in-between, as well as we'll see it in the back. Now we have the option to go ahead with this, pull there, and it goes up. So we have the option to open this up, and whether you don't want to go through the middle, you can go ahead, open that up, and then we have the option with this button to go ahead and bring the seat down. So we're bringing that down and you can make the space. If not, you can also go ahead and bring this up. And once you bring it up, now remember that I put these seats all the way forward, and you can push them all the way back in case you need the leg room for the rear passengers, or you want to use this area a little bit more for storage in the front. But yeah, that's kind of what we get in the rear. Very easy to kind of get into, very easy to, yeah, put seats down. Love this rear area. We take the Sequoia for a drive, and this thing is a dream to drive. First of all, the roar that we get from that V6 and that exhaust, it's so nice. Yeah, I know you guys are gonna say, oh, but it's not the V8. And I'm kind of glad it's not the V8, because that V8 was more of a, like, kind of an airy sound, while this, we do get a rumble. We do get a good little low end kind of rumble. And if you kind of stomp it, is it pumped in? Yeah, a little bit. And you can kind of discern the pump in-ness compared to the actual exhaust, but it sounds good. It sounds really good. Now, the ride quality has surprised me, because the other Sequoia that I reviewed, the other trim was a little bit on the pickup truck-like feel. This feels, I dare to say, like a you know, unibody construction, as opposed to a body on frame where you typically get that like truck-like feel. And a lot has to do with that TRD suspension. It takes some bumps really well, and it doesn't translate them to the cabin like you would with other vehicles. Yeah, I'm purposely aiming for those bumps, and they're big bumps, and it's taking them really nicely. So I am loving this thing. And just as far as like everyday comfortability, it's there. It's there. You do have these seats that are just incredible. The positioning, basically ergonomics of where everything is, it's great. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of an issue with those brakes, because we're trying to stop 6,000 pounds, and you're needing more brake power. You're needing more leg power is really the saying, really what you need. Now, that's all fun and games, and you get to have fun on the road, and it drives great on the road, but where this excels, it's really off-roading, and it's really having fun in places like you know, back roads, unpaved roads, like we're gonna go ahead and do right now. So we're gonna go ahead and switch it over to 4 high, and we are going to let it roll a little bit so it engages, and we are going to go to our MTS, or multi-terrain select options. And we do have auto, dirt, sand, mud, and deep snow. We are going to say dirt because that actually looks very similar to what I am going to be driving on. And yeah, let's go ahead. And now we do get things like we do get the locker on the rear. Yeah, obviously in this you don't need it, but it is really nice to have as additional tools for like more off-roading. Just be aware that yes, we do have super wide mirrors, and I think that's one of the things when I was driving the Tundra and we had the exact same mirrors, I was constantly having to fold them in, which kind of, yeah, I really wanted to have them out to make sure that, you know, because they're great mirrors, I wanted to see kind of what my rear tire was doing while I still had the camera doing other stuff instead of having to look at that. But yeah, let's go ahead and have some fun. Yeah, and that V6 just goes. It really goes, and it's a blast to drive, but it's also so calm to just relax, and the drivability is there. So we do have a good amount of power, but you are able to calmly, you know, stop and go traffic is not going to be a problem. We have creature comforts like the brake hold, which is nice to just let the brakes hold you in traffic automatically without you having to maintain your foot on the pedal. But yeah, this thing is incredible, and the control and the feedback that I am getting is just unbelievable to get this going. And yeah, and if we need to get it going, we just floor it and it just goes. It really just wants to go, but it feels stable. It feels stable, and I am not feeling anything, as you guys can see on the camera. It is not shaking at all. So those suspension, that tire, everything, that setup is just unbelievable to do its job, really. So let's go ahead and we will. It is so good at just going. It's just unbelievable. It's a great adventure vehicle, and I think that's why I love the Sequoia so much. It is big. It is a big vehicle, so just kind of be aware that you're going to be experiencing that. And yeah, you can definitely, I can feel it in the turns here where I'm kind of flicking it a little bit, and it is going to want to rotate on you with the power. And yeah, it's big. It really is. But if you need it, if you need the people, you have the option to seat everyone in here. Granted, that storage is not the best. You're going to need to get some storage bins up above, you know, those aero bins that they have, or tow, you know, get like an off-road trailer to tow your other stuff if you're wanting to take this kind of out on more adventures. So you do have that option as well, especially when you can tow a lot with this. But besides that though, everything is just so nice with this. Yeah, we're having to really get this guy a turn, and it is requiring significantly more pedal input and also steering input to get this thing rotated because of its big size. But it is so surprisingly good. Now, what's funny is that we do have the TRD Pro, and we've gotten the TRD Pro for the Toyota Tacoma and for the 4Runner. Now, I'm wondering if we can get a Trail Hunter for this and leave this as it is, because I think this is where it really excels. It feels really great at kind of more high speed runs, which I think is where Toyota is really going with its TRD Pro, and kind of its more high speed off-roading Baja style vehicle. And the Trail Hunter, And the Trail Hunter is their more aggressive off-roading, rock climbing trim. Yeah, I'm loving this. I don't know what else I would change besides, yeah, the storage we get, but those things can be alleviated really easily. Yeah. Well, guys, I hope you've enjoyed my review of the Toyota Sequoia TRD Pro. And remember, find the right gear and find the right roads, because you're gonna want to do it in this. See ya.